here for nothing. You ain't gonna be. Show you real music.
Alright guys, welcome back and it's time to go balls deep. And I know that bro to meme is like being a dead horse at the moment, but I could not stop laughing whilst making that. I just had to, alright? So if I made you chuckle or laugh or smile, please smash that like button to help support the channel. Or you know, if you're dead inside like me, just smash that like button anyway because it's a nice thing to do for the day and I love you for that, thank you very much. Anyway, starting off the video, the first half I will be explaining the theory and analysis of how or why Asta may be a hybrid, meaning Asta could be half dwarf and half human, or what if Asta is full dwarf, who knows. And then the other half of this video I'm going to do my analysis on chapter 210 of Black Clover.
You don't fuck with neck, bro.
I'm going to provide all the evidence we have so far, and then you can make your own decision by letting me know in the comment section below what you think about the dwarf theory. Now if you're an anime only fan of Black Clover, please remember that this video is full of spoilers, and read the goddamn manga, man. We have to support my friend Tabata out here, of course. The other day I phoned Tabata, right?
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
I'm motherfucking Goku, bitch.
So I'm not gonna lie, the theory that Asta is a dwarf gets mentioned all the time in the comments and people messaging me on Instagram and Twitter wanting to know my opinion on the topic. So I did some digging because I really wanted to see if there has been any foreshadowing. Now what we know so far about dwarves in Black Clover is that Charmy is a hybrid of two races. This means that she is able to channel two different magic types and is extra overpowered. Charmy being half dwarf is something that she herself wasn't completely aware of. She was surprised. This could be the case with Asta as well. Charmy is able to use a second type of magic now called food magic, which allows the wolf to consume her opponent's magic in vast quantities to gain mana. Charmy was able to defeat a captain level mage who was possessed by an elf on top of that, all by herself because she tapped into her dwarf powers. Now the foreshadowing that we received beforehand regarding Charmy being a dwarf was minuscule, but it still made sense. For example, in Black Clover Chapter 66 during the Kingdom Invasion arc, which was 128 chapters before it was revealed, mind you, it is stated by the dude, her magic? What is it? There is something inside her, a beast? Even Yuno during this arc specifically states that Charmy has immense mana and there is something about her that he has a feeling about. So this whole idea of Charmy having a wolf and is half dwarf is a play on the saying of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't judge a book by its cover. So just like that, with that simple foreshadowing, we now know why Charmy is a dwarf. Okay, going back to Asta now. Asta is a boy that we have been told is not special and he has no mana. The Witch Queen thought he might be related to Licht, but he's not. No one understands or even knows why Asta has no mana. The only reason we have received is that Asta is defective or mutated. Now this mutation or defect could have occurred because of two races colliding their genetics to create Asta. The foreshadowing we have received so far that Asta is a dwarf is of course everyone calling him short because it's in his character design. Now this is done for comedic effect of course, but it could also play a part in being a clue for the future reveal. Furthermore, when Asta met the anti-magic demon for the first time in manga chapter 97, the anti-magic demon says to Asta that he is the closest person to him, more so than anyone else. Now obviously I've created theories on why the demon says this already, so make sure to keep up with the channel on a weekly basis by subscribing and hitting the notification bells. Please just do it. Anyways, more importantly, the anti-magic demon states to Asta, "You want to beat that human, right? Let me handle it and you get your wish." Asta of course rejects the idea, but after that demon he then states to Asta, "Quit complaining and let me take over your mind. All you have to do is pass out. There's no way a dwarf like you could win that." So guys, explain this to me. Why would the anti-magic demon identify the enemy as a human, therefore establishing to us that he knows the different species that exist in Black Clover? But then the next line, he specifically calls Asta a dwarf. The demon knows demons exist, humans exist, dwarfs exist, he knows about the other races. This is even in the official translations for the anime. He straight up calls Asta a dwarf, and we took it as a joke. What if Tabata is trying to leave us clues? Because again, if you follow my videos on a weekly basis, you would know that my analysis has become a fact in terms of explaining that the elves and demon race, they know information that the human race do not know or have forgotten. Elves already knew demons existed by identifying the word magic devil immediately, and they knew what he was, but humans did not understand what he is. We were told by Mimosa that dwarves, elves and humans used to live in harmony in ancient times, told by stories. The word magic devil that we are witnessing is also from 500 years ago, so the demon race clearly has knowledge of races and may have been at war with the others during a period further down in the past, such as the elves and dwarves. This idea has been foreshadowed countless times in the elf arc, so what I'm saying is, maybe that would explain why this anti-magic demon knows what the dwarf race is, and that's why he called Asta one. Asta just doesn't know he is one. He might be a hybrid just like Charmy. Demons can live longer than 500 years or more, since the word magic devil did so anything is possible. Look everyone, I know some of you are going to comment that, you know, you're looking too deep into it. Oh man, forget this clue, it ain't even that big of a deal. But we all said the same thing about Charmy, and it ended up being true that she is a dwarf. Further evidence to this theory that Asta is a dwarf is because Tabata himself in interviews has stated that Asta, even as an adult, even when he grows up during Black Clover, even if a time skip happened, he will never ever get taller. The most he will increase in height is by 1 centimeter. So Tabata has said Asta will stay the same height the rest of his life. Maybe he will change his mind in the future, but for now, this is something we have to consider. Furthermore, what we know so far about dwarves is that they are an ancient race that live alongside elves and humans, explained to us by Mimosa in chapter 194, right? Dwarves have a human-like appearance but short in stature. They are known for having special magic skills, which goes back to my anti-magic demon point by the way, but in my opinion, there will be dwarves with magic abilities that is something about weaponry to help develop Asta's character in the future. I mean, even in the panel of the first dwarf we are shown, it shows him wielding an axe. This is because dwarves in the mythology that Tabata is inspired from drives the point home. Dwarves in every fantasy story that you see, such as Lord of the Rings, Berserk the anime, and even Avengers for God's sake, they all have the power to wield and forge powerful weapons. That's what dwarves specialize in. And guess who just happens to have sword magic powers? Asta, of course. Tabata, the creator of Black Clover, has even admitted that Lord of the Rings and Berserk are one of the inspirations to help create the anime. He even goes on to say that he wants Black Clover to be a shonen that is just like Berserk. Now in Berserk the anime, it was mentioned in the Holy Evil War chapter that the Berserker armor that Guts has was made by dwarves, but no actual dwarves have been shown at all for that time in Berserk. Doesn't this sound familiar? Yeah, it does. Dwarves are missing in Black Clover 2. Again, Charmy did not know she is one. So in the future, in my opinion, we will definitely see more dwarves that will be revealed, since they can't just leave this plot device there with Charmy like, okay, let's shut the door, let's go to the next arc. That doesn't make any sense. We need to explore the dwarf culture, power and race, and therefore providing Tabata even more content to explore to get at least that 700 chapters that he wants. I think that the dwarves will be revealed, and one of them will specialize in weaponry, and it will help Asta's character to receive a new power or learn about his heritage. One of these things or both will happen. Something like this will happen, I'm calling it now. I mean, think about it. Why would Asta be dropped in the same church as Yuno? Yuno is half elf and half human, right? Whilst Asta could be half dwarf and half human. Therefore, being the trio of races that links to the legends of time that all races live together in harmony. Because we know dwarves for some reason are not around anymore. Even 500 years ago in the flashbacks that we know, they don't seem to be prevalent. Lumiere, who is the first wizard king, is a human 500 years ago. He stated in chapter 204 page 9 when he first saw the devil, a soul with malicious mana. I've read about these. A being from another world? A devil? So this proves for a fact to us that humans, even humans 500 years ago, also still had to read books to learn about other races that existed, even the devil. Lumiere only knows about demons because of reading, so as the years went by, humans got dumber and dumber due to the corruption of the monarchy. This basically confirms and means that dwarves must have been an even more ancient race than 500 years ago. Maybe 1000 years ago is when dwarves, elves and humans lived in harmony, as Mimosa stated, and as a result their bloodline or the people that are still dwarves are hiding or have weakened, giving an even more possibility that Asta could be a dwarf. One reason he got dropped off at the church is to protect Asta. Maybe a person that has left Asta at the church, maybe their race is becoming extinct and they needed to make sure Asta lived a good life that they themselves could not provide. Alrighty, that's the theory done. Let's move on to the chapter. Fam, these chapters finished so fast. Like, this chapter had so much sauce, so much like that amazing taste, so much spice. I don't know how to describe it. So the chapter begins with the devil being mad again, doing what he does with multiple mouths, being angry. Just cue the hose mad, please.
Hose mad, hose mad, hose mad.
Thank you. So in the chapter we see that Asta's anti-magic is the answer to defeating the devil, as we all predicted. Even Yuno himself is confirming the fact that the devil has gotten serious because Asta almost killed him by targeting his heart. Asta is struggling to keep up and he says, my body's at its limit. But then the first Wizard King and Lich say, oh, it looks like they're doing a good job. I guess it's our cue to leave.
Are you sure about that?
So what Lumiere says in the chapter goes back to my analysis 2 weeks ago. Yuno is the only character that has believed in Asta without any objections. They have a bond with each other that no one else can match. And he is witnessing that bond flourish in a fight because they trust each other to have the teamwork to defeat the devil. Now this goes back to the message of the show again, because Yuno is half elf and Asta is human. When people trust each other, understand one another and care, they can triumph against their enemies. This message is depicted again with the next panel as Lich, the elf tribe leader, and the first Wizard King, Lumiere, they combine their magic to save everyone. Everyone within this realm are fighting each other, of course, but they come to understand that the devil's magic is from another world and is trying to destroy them. Leona confirms the ignorance of humans again about what demons are, because she states, I don't know what that was. I tried to impersonate her laugh, forgive me. But she says to think magic like this existed, the world is vast indeed. So again and again, Tabata is showcasing how humans need to learn about the other races and the world at large, therefore expanding the Black Clover universe and the possible new arcs that we will receive. The characters cannot just gain this newfound knowledge and not explore it or question it for themselves. That would just not make sense. The characters, after the devil is defeated, will now start to think about what is going on in the other parts of the world. What is the history? What do they do not know about? For example, within the chapter, Mimosa questions Raya when he mentions their prince. She says, our prince? Our prince? Not knowing what is he talking about. If Lumiere sees Mimosa, I really want to see what he says too, because Mimosa looks exactly like his sister Tetia, so maybe we will receive new information on what's going on. I think the characters will need to learn the history and how the monarchy system is corrupted, meaning that the king that they are following is not worthy, or at least some changes need to be made within the kingdom to help stop racism and prejudice. This message is consistent because Pathri even states further on in the chapter that he will not doubt Lumiere and Lich's bond between the two races again. Now, in the final few pages, I think my prediction is coming true again. I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound like this cocky dude. But remember, I told you guys that in the final panel of the devil's defeat, it will be kind of like everyone killing the demon at the same time, creating an epic double page spread. And I think my friend Tabata is about to do this. It seems to be happening because Yuno says to Asta to concentrate on making the final blow on the word magic devil in this chapter. However, we also know for a fact that Yami has said this too, that he can do one final dimension slash that will kill the devil since his magic works on him. He asks Charlotte to direct him where the demon is, and she says she will help slip him out of where they are. and so this means that the Yami will do a surprise attack on the Word Magic Devil, since he does not see this coming, because Yami is slipping out and he's going to do a surprise attack. So this final dimension slash of Yami with Asta and Yuno will then destroy the Word Magic Demon, in my opinion, hopefully, because again, the literal final panel of this chapter shows the trio smiling and they're ready to do this final slash. Anyways guys, make sure to smash that like button. That's everything I wanted to say for this week. Let me know what you think. Make sure to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll catch you guys next time.